So very good afternoon to you all. So there is a change in the schedule. Mr. Suresh will take the topic of applications of augmented reality or virtual reality in industry now. Afternoon, he will handle the session, the topic of how to build the augmented reality strategy for your business. Okay, so the afternoon session topic will be covered now. Okay, so the topic what we put in the schedule now is covered in the afternoon. Okay, so small changes. So now I'm taking this privilege to introduce Mr. Suresh Piranjari. So he's a partner technical manager at PTC Bangalore. So he completed his BTech in mechanical engineering at University of Calicut, and then he finished his Master of Business Administration at Indira Gandhi National Open University in the area of specialization, operation research. After that, he worked as a aeronautical engineer in Indian Air Force. Then he worked in Tractors and Farm Equipment Limited as associate consultant. In Speed Engineering, as part of MAC Group, he worked as a project leader. He joined PTC in the year of 2004. Here he worked in various positions like Technical Accountant Manager, Strategic Accounts, Sales Development Manager, Principal Technical Account Manager, Channel Technical Head. For the past 10 years, he is working as a Partner Technical Manager at PTC. So he is a result-oriented professional with the planning, analytical, and interpersonal skill with 24 years experience across engineering, IT solutions in CAD, CAE, CAM, PLM, AR, VR, and IoT. Technology adaptation and training, new product development, soft skills, sales development, strategic, tactical operations, and human resource management process, and solution expertise in automotive, industrial, PSUs, defense and educational verticals, industry leading engineering software technology, value centric customer engagement, experience in training development of soft and sales skills, process improvement and technology adaptation. Now I hand over the session to Mr. Suresh.
Thank you, Mr. Hari. Am I audible clear?
Yeah, yes, sir. You can. You are audible, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'll just share my presentation. Let me know if you're able to see my presentation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you for the correction of the session topics, because unless I take this topic, you will not understand the next topic. So okay, today, yeah, okay. So today I will be covering the topic of what are the various applications of augmented reality and various use cases with my company PTC's AR platform, which is Vuforia. And we will also look at some of the brief customers who have got advantage of having implemented this Vuforia platform for AR for various use cases of theirs. And then if there are some questions, I will be answering that. So let's understand, I think in the keynote speech you heard on AR, VR and mixed reality, etc. There is a lot of difference between AR and VR. VR has been there much before AR. AR is the one which has come later, and it's called augmented reality because we are augmenting reality on top of a physical environment. Whereas VR is completely virtual. There is nothing in the physical context. You would have seen those different kinds of wearables like Oculus and all the other things. So you actually create a virtual experience for the user to appreciate whatever he has to do later in the physical world. Whereas if we can superimpose that virtual experience, that virtual digital experience in the physical context itself where the person is working, maybe for service or maintenance or for training or design review, whatever may be, then it is really very effective. And that's where augmented reality has taken such a important shape now. Most of the industries are adopting that. So I'll just give you a simple example. So if you look at this situation, so here, if you see, from the normal way of getting navigation from a Google map, either through a infotainment system in your car or by looking at the mobile Google map, etc. You need to understand and superimpose whatever is shown on a 2D Google map, and then you have to relate it. Your brain has to work, your cognitive skills have to work, and you have to map it in front of you on in the physical context onto the road as to how we can navigate ourselves. There can be chances of getting errors. You may miss a corner based on the speed in which you go. So if you augment your navigation like this as a head-up display just in front of you, where it is showing the path that you have to take right in front of you, augmented or superimposed on the physical context that is on the road, you cannot go wrong. So here it is showing that navigation in blue arrows. It is showing your speed that it is 120 kilometers per hour. And it is saying that within 100 meters you have to take a right. So this is a simple example of how augmented reality can help a person in whatever he is doing. So it's really integrates the digital into the physical interface. So in the industry, it has found a lot of use cases, and that is what I'm going to cover with many demonstration videos for you to appreciate. So we have the physical world, and then we have the digital world. So in the digital world, you will create all digital assets, maybe designs or experiences, whatever you see in VR, it's all under digital world. And why we are doing that? Basically to have better productivity, better experience, better efficiency, etc. when we operate in the physical world. So now if you have a digital model like this, a robot, and then you will have the physical product which is manufactured and is going to be used. How do I know that whatever I have designed the robot for in the digital world, it is the same way it is operating, or the efficiency is same, the parameters are all same? How do I know when it is operating the physical product? For that, Internet of Things will help, where you connect your physical product with sensors, get the data, get into a platform, Internet of Things platform like PTC's platform is ThingWorks, understand all the parameters, all the data, make it into real sense and do analytics, and then understand how the physical product is behaving and take necessary actions. On the other hand, if you want a human being who is operating with this robotic arm, if he needs to understand how to service this robotic arm, or how to maintain this, or how to understand the functions of this robotic arm, all that can be created in the digital world and may be published in videos or presentations or documents or even VR. But then how do I really understand that in the physical context? Can I have the same things which I create in the digital world shown in front of me, maybe through a mobile device, or maybe through an iPad, or maybe through a HoloLens or any eyewear? If I can get that superimposed exactly on top of this robotic arm, and if I can see, then I will have better efficiency and productivity. So that's one of the main usage where AR comes into picture, connecting the digital world with the physical world. Same goes with operations. When you're doing a lot of operations in the factory, the operator has to understand how exactly to operate various machines. Maybe a inventory management guy or a material handling guy needs to know exactly the location where the different components are kept and what is the route, the shortest route to that particular component, which he has to fetch it from the racks and racks of shelves. So those kind of things can be made easy and perfect by augmented reality instructions superimposed in that factory floor. So that's one way he can do better operations. Another example could be, suppose a drilling machine is there and an operator has to change that drill bit. Now he will change it based on whatever he learned as a part of training, or he has to remember that, or it could be he can refer some video or some document and he has to do it. But what in front of him in on the digital, on the CNC machine, if a digital instruction, an animated digital instruction is superimposed and which shows the step-by-step instructions to remove that drill bit, then he simply cannot go wrong. He can anytime pause that animation and do the needful and then go to the next step, etc. That's the power of augmented reality, which really connects the digital world with the physical world and makes the human beings who are interacting with the physical world more efficient and productive. So now here in this case, you have machines. So machines have their own advantages. They have the physical power, consistency, they are resistance to harsh environments. And here you have the human beings. So they have ideas, creativity, they are innovative. They have the broadest sensory pattern recognition. They can understand complex communication. They have sophisticated sensory motor skills. Then you have the digital advantages of the cloud and cloud servers and cloud service, etc., where the calculating power is enormous. Sorry, the data processing is very high. The artificial intelligence can really help. Now, how do we harness the power of all the three of these? Only when we have something connecting with each other. So the data from a smart connected product, a sensor data, can go to the cloud, where a digital twin, the same replica of this, can be created here in the virtual world, which we call it as a digital twin, which will exactly replicate the performance of the physical product. And with this data in the cloud, you can do a lot of analytics. And then with that analytics, you can control back the product. Same way with computer vision technologies, with augmented reality experiences, you can have human beings understand the functioning of the product. Plus, whatever data is there in the cloud can also be part of your visualized experience. For example, here somebody is holding a mobile. He's looking at this product, the digital twin of that product, through his mobile. He's getting all the parameters, like what is the temperature, 85 degrees Celsius. He's getting what is the weight of the product, 16 kgs. What is the vibration, parameter, etc. So this is an augmented reality experience where he is getting to know the physical product with the physical parameters, thanks to the integration of Internet of Things along with augmented reality. So that he can visualize either through mobile devices or iPad or HoloLens or iOS, etc. So this is how IoT and augmented reality will work together for a much better environment for the people. So in short, if you have to optimize the work of man and machine, you should have the products created in such a way that they are smart connected products with a lot of sensors and edge analytics, etc. You should use the power of cloud, where you can do all this digital twin and analytics. You can have smart connected human beings because they are using all these modern gadgets like HoloLens and mobile devices and iPads, etc. And they are augmented with augmented reality experience, so that the processes which the human beings go through to operate this product are also smart connected. So that's how you optimize the entire work of a man and machine. There are a lot of emerging technologies now people are talking about, out of which interface of things, where AR, VR and mixed reality with all these different variables and gesture recognition, everything coming up, is also very, very important. And my company PTC gives Vuforia platform and ThingWorks platform, etc., which helps this particular case. So actually AR and mixed reality, they are all examples of extended reality or XR, where the digital thing is superimposed on the physical context. So now actually in the product development itself, there are a lot of changes from the traditional way in which products are developed or designed. There are a lot of differences. Like for example, in the prototyping stage, where earlier it was all done physically. Now we are leveraging digital twin. So 90 to 95% of the prototyping is done digitally, only that 5 to 10% is done physically to again confirm. So that is all thanks to these technologies. Similarly, if it is a detail engineering, then the design reviews are happening with augmented reality. When it comes to manufacturing, the work instructions are happening through augmented reality instructions. When it comes to service, the service authoring is again happening through augmented reality instructions. And again, servicing can be enabled through augmented reality platform. You will see all those use cases in the demo videos which I will be showing. And finally, you will have all this connectivity between the IT and the OT. That is from between the shop floor and the top floor. And all these various things you will do. So this is how the present product development is happening. And when it comes to the use cases, there's so many use cases. Now this is actually a combination of IoT and AR together. So for example, here in manufacturing engineering, AR is used for authoring the instructions for the manufacturing people. Somewhere in the production, digital assembly and machine instructions are created in AR. Somewhere in maintenance and service, digital repair and service instructions are created in AR. In inspections, wherever quality and testing is happening, quality inspections are created through AR. Even in environment, health and safety conditions, those training procedures and safety procedures, etc., are created in AR. So like that, AR is actually, has got a lot of use cases like this. Broadly, IoT along with AR will have use cases. They will be applied to make smart connected products, to make smart manufacturing processes, which is called as Industry 4.0, to have smart digital systems in retail, to make it very innovative. All this retail, footwear, apparel, supermarkets, all these places, augmented reality is used to great extent. And augmented reality per se has got a lot of other applications. Maybe somebody was mentioning Pokemon Go. So that was done on Vuforia platform. So games always, just like, a war leads to a technology enhancement. Similarly, 3D games is where a lot of technology enhancements come. So augmented reality is something which first came there. There are a lot of things we can do augmented reality per se for wow experience, etc. And then mother of everything is the smart infrastructure. It could be for smart buildings or smart energy or smart water. So a lot of people maintain the assets, service them, get trained on how to operate that, and monitor the conditions of all these. All this can be done with the combination of augmented reality and IoT. In an industry, product development, use case, we call it as connected digital landscape. Starting from planning till production and aftermarket support, apart from everything else, you have AR playing a role. That could be for service, maintenance, sales and marketing, etc. We'll look at those different use cases. So a combined power of AR with IoT is the best way as of today to have a completely connected digital landscape. And it could be for, something like a Royal Enfield bike, which is a two-wheeler, something like a four-wheeler. It could be even applied for aircrafts and ships and drones and defense equipments. So the industry where it is applied, it is limitless, right? It's already being applied, already being looked at different cases, how it can be done. So augmented reality is really powerful in helping all these different industry verticals for giving a very good aftermarket support, apart from whatever the use cases it has during the design and production phase within the organization, which makes those products for these verticals. So if you see, this basically these are our products on, this is for CAD and PLM and IoT. Now, since we are concentrating on augmented reality, Vuforia is the platform. So it does multiple things. It does object recognition and tracking. These are the various things which you do as part of AR experience. You can do spatial recognition and tracking. You can author various experiences. You can capture expertise of an expert and then make it easily available for others to follow it. You can have a logical procedural guidance created. We'll see some example of that. You can have a lot of collaborative experiences. You can have human machine interface experiences, with augmented reality. We can do a lot of content management. So all these things we can do with an augmented reality platform like Vuforia. So if you see here, the main use cases are for service related things, manufacturing related, sales and marketing, design, training, operation, and others. So in this, actually it's top 3 high value use cases. It's mainly for service, manufacturing, and sales and marketing. So if you see here, suppose if it is for design. In design, augmented reality is used for collaborative design review. People can design in 3D tools and the thing can be published into an augmented reality, lightweight digital experience, and which can be visualized by anybody who is involved with the design review anywhere, wherever they are, through mobile device or iPad or iWare, right? So the entire design review process can be done by augmented reality. In manufacturing, augmented reality can be used for quality assurance. Somebody can walk with those instructions in his mobile or iPad or iWare, and that will be superimposed onto the physical product which he is doing quality check, and he can do all those checks using that. It could be for safety and security, for maintenance work instructions, even for a layout planning, the virtual layout superimposed over a physical space, and you can understand how the space is occupied, whether everything is organized. You can look at the performance of various machines which are working in the factory floor through an augmented reality experience, thanks to the integration with augmented reality and IoT. You can have operators and assembly work instructions created in a manufacturing environment. For sales and marketing, augmented reality is a virtual product companion. You don't have to really have all the different variants of a particular product available in the dealer. You can have a virtual product experience which is superimposed in that particular showroom in life size of all the variants which the customer, the prospect customer, can appreciate through a mobile device or iPad or iWare. It also helps you to augment your brand experience. Even a retail space, if you want to optimize, you can actually use augmented reality. When it comes to operation, you can have augmented reality as a head-up display. Even you can think of a person who is maintaining a telephone tower high up. He can have a RealWear, with him, and he can have all the instructions augmented in through that RealWear. When he goes up, he can be hands-free. Just in front of him, head-up display will be there, and he can operate. Similarly, for fighter aircrafts and other aircraft, this head-up display had already come long back. Then operator manual could be augmented. The interface with which you operate can also be augmented. And in service, the manual instructions all can be through augmented reality experience. The inspection and verification for service can be augmented. Even remote expertise can be captured as AR experience and given to people. Even for customer self-service, that it's a very good tool. Imagine you get stuck somewhere in the highway and you don't know what to do, and you just open the bonnet of your car and you just scan some barcodes or something which is there somewhere on top of the engine, and then immediately you get all the instructions that these are the different parts. The temperature of this particular thing is this much, this is the parameter of the other thing, and something is wrong. If it is something wrong, it is showing as a red alert. All those kind of things can be made available to you in front of you, and then maybe some actions to be taken if something is bad. If all that fails, then automatic call goes to customer service and they come and help you. So those kind of things. Then in training also, you can do augmented reality training, which will be very, very effective. It could be for expert coaching or safety and security training. So mostly in this design, manufacturing, sales and marketing, operate, service, train, these are the main enterprise level augmented reality use cases. So this is not a comprehensive list. You can think multiple things in which augmented reality can be applied. So I think somebody mentioned also that by 2024, some trillion amount will be spent on augmented reality. I think Mr. Ratnavelu Principal himself mentioned this. So this is statistics for by 2021, $63 billion will be spent on augmented reality. And the industries which would most rapidly adopt would be people who make industrial products, automotive, aerospace, and high tech. Apart from, of course, retail and innovation. So it can be applied anywhere, but these would be the verticals which will be adopting most rapidly. So Vuforia Studio is one solution in the Vuforia platform from PTC, which helps you with existing, 3D CAD models of your product, in which you can create animated sequences and can view the experience with a single app called Vuforia View, which can be downloaded from Microsoft or Apple Store or Google Play Store. So it can also leverage a real-time Internet of Things data through your physical product and make you available through such mobile devices or eyewears. So what you need to have is this particular app. Maybe after this session, all of you can download this app in your mobile phones, smartphones, and there are some experiences which are part of that available in the library. You can see that. So what happens is that in a Vuforia platform like this, you will author and publish the AR experiences, and you will create specifically for iPads or phones or HoloLens, etc. Then in those particular gadgets, using this app, you will view the experience, and the experience can be launched by various methods. In fact, we will discuss more that in the afternoon session also. So it can be model targets. That means you have a silhouette image, the silhouette outline of a model. You go and match it with a physical product and the respective experience launches. Or it could be through a thing mark or a barcode or a QR code, etc., where you just scan that and that augmented reality experience can come. Or it could be just a spatial tracking. You get a link, you are told to focus on a well lit flat floor and tap where the augmented reality experience has to come. One example could be like in a showroom, they want to show a KTM bike like this. So they just, wherever there is a vacant floor, you just tap it there and you will see the entire life size KTM bike coming and standing there, something like this, what you see here. So there are various ways. Now you also have image target. You can scan an image and then you can get the augmented reality experience launched. Then thanks to computer vision, now you can simply scan the physical object itself, and then it will recognize and superimpose the digital experience on top of that, and then you can have the necessary augmented reality experience on top of that. So this is the Vuforia View app. The icon looks something like this. You can always download. It is a universal viewer through which you can get the augmented reality experience or share the experiences with others. If you do not have, if you fear that you will not have internet connection somewhere you go, then you can also download them and use it as a offline experience. Now you will see some examples. Now this example, before I run the video, is on tourism. So here you will see how augmented reality has been used to promote tourism and make it a better experience. So this is with audio. You can understand here. Let me play that.
The principle is very simple. Time traveler recognizes and tracks.
Mr. Hari, can you confirm that you're able to hear the audio?
Yes, sir. We can hear.
Okay, fine. Let me continue. Let me start from the beginning.
The principle is very simple. Time traveler recognizes and tracks part of your live view and attaches to it scenes which have happened here in the past. The tourists of today look up to the young bricklayer who sealed the window in 1961. At the Bernauer Strasse, you can see where the original building stood, whose facade was kept to create the first Berlin Wall. The tram passes by the historic Church of Reconciliation. Time traveler lets you experience what you would have experienced if you had stood at this exact spot in the past. It transforms you into an eyewitness.
So this is a augmented reality experience created for iPad for tourism.
The principle.
Another example could be like this. You get down from an airport and you want to know, the various locations of a city where you are traveling. So all these different informations, you can get it in your iPad, entire city information. It could be through a smartphone, or it could be through an eyewear, or even it could be a, contact lens, which could be used for the same. So the devices, the wearables are also, coming up. A lot of new technology is coming up. So maybe once you get out of the airport or train station, if you get all these different informations, where is the nearest restaurant, instead of looking on a 2D thing on a phone in a Google map, if you get it just there in the street where you're standing, that really helps you. So that's another use case where you can use augmented reality. Let's see this a small video of the Vuforia platform. This is for a smart mobile gaming, another application. Right? So instead of playing in front of a computer, you are playing through a mobile device, but you will see as if it is superimposed on a table like this on a physical environment, and that will give you more fun when you use augmented reality for games like this. Next is how augmented reality can accentuate or make your experience better when you are reading a book or trying to understand some process. So here this is made by, it is an app called Smart Manufacturing app, which is made by PTC, Rockwell, and one more association. So I think that will be shown at the end of this. So when you scan your comic book with your mobile phone, you will see how augmented reality experience of understanding how a drone like this is manufactured in a very comic way comes up in this video. Just have a look at it. I think it is done by Manufacturing Alliance, PTC, and Rockwell together. Let me run the video. Manufacturing Institute with PTC and Rockwell Automation. So you can download this Smart Manufacturing app in your mobile and then have this experience looked at. Next is again another experience to make you understand how augmented reality can augment your 2D layouts or books, etc. So Jim Heppelman, who is the CEO and president of PTC, along with Michael E. Porter, who is a very famous professor of Harvard University, has written 3 different articles talking about augmented reality. So in one of the articles, to make people appreciate that how it is helpful, they have created a small experience. You can look at this. So here you will see, once I run the video, you will see how a particular process, a small factory which makes a paper plane, or it could be some device, we can visualize that as an augmented reality. You can interact with them as an augmented reality, or you can also instruct with using augmented reality through a mobile phone or iPad, etc. Just have a look at this. So this is again a HBR app which you can download from App Store or Google Play Store, and you will get this particular image which you can either put it in a computer or a mobile phone or take a printout, and when you scan it, you'll get all these instructions. You will understand how it is being used for visualizing something which is there on the paper to better understand that, or how do we use it for interacting. Maybe the robot was there, we were interacting, or maybe for instruction of something, right? Now, so those were some experiences which I had shown, which could be used for maybe tourism or making your normal legacy way of understanding things from a 2D to an augmented reality experience. Another, sorry, another use case would be for sales and marketing. So in this case, you will see a Honda engine being explained through the augmented reality experience. So here, the authoring would have been done through maybe Unity, and then the publishing of that as an experience is done through our platform Vuforia engine. So just have a look at it, at this particular experience. So here the Honda GX22 engine, you see here, this is the silhouette image. So I was mentioning that the various ways of launching the experience. So the silhouette of the engine is matched to the actual physical engine, and then the augmented reality experience comes up. So you match it, and actually it is already superimposed with the digital experience. And now he goes and explains each and every different parts. So you may have a list of the parts. You click on the list. On the right hand side, you get all these different parts. You click on that part and it shows in a different color that these are the parts. So it is an augmented reality experience superimposed on the physical component. You can see the parts which are moving. It's not the physical component which is the digitally superimposed experience which is showing how it moves. So like that, you can showcase somebody as part of sales, what are the different components of this. This can also be an example for training, also for in-house people of sales and marketing. So now you see different components, parts of this engine, and then next you will look at the information of these. So this is ignition plug, this is muffler. Those kind of labels can be part of your augmented reality experience. Then you want to see how the process happens. Now you can have an X-ray vision of the entire process, how fuel is injected, how the crankshaft moves, piston, compression cycle, and all those things a mechanical engineer can understand. Otherwise, a normal guy who wants to see how the engine operates can visualize this and understand better. And then last but not the least, it can explode the entire engine and show the different parts of it. So this was used by Honda to train their sales engineers so that they can in turn deal with customers to explain their entire Honda engine itself. So that was a quick experience for sales and marketing, which is done in Vuforia engine platform. Now another sales and marketing experience. So if you remember that slide where I had given different use cases for design and sales and marketing, manufacturing. So now you're seeing various actual use cases. Now this is again a sales and marketing experience created by IKEA, the furniture company. So here what he does is he selects a set of furniture from online. Now he wants to know how does it look like when I place it on a floor in my house. So the augmented reality experience comes up and he places there on the floor. Of course, he can see through his mobile only, and then he can place it and understand how does it look like, and then he can confirm the sale. Lens card is another example where you have that 3D glasses. It will scan your face and you can put the glasses and see how does it look like. So that's another example of augmented reality. Then this is an example which was used in Aachen University, where they have put a European 4.0 technology center, and PTC has given all these augmented reality technologies for that. So they wanted to develop the completely the EV vehicle, which is completely connected. So during the prototyping stage, they wanted to see how does the different variants look like, what should be the final shape of the car. So at the prototyping stage, instead of putting physical things on top of that and making the car and in different sheet metal and other components, they designed it in 3D, made it as an augmented reality experience, and they superimposed on top of the whatever structure was already made as a prototype. You can see the experience here. So this is the physical prototype. On top of that, by scanning this thing mark or the QR code, they are seeing different possibilities. On top of this entire structure, how will the sheet metal come? So the first prototype would be classic with the chassis and all, and doors and body, all that has been clicked. The second option is this one, and the third option is this one, and they finally went with this third option. The final car is looking something like this. So without even creating any physical components, they are able to superimpose in real life size on the structure which was created as a physical prototype and see how does it look like. So this is another use case. Then for customer self-service, so this is a medical equipment. He has to do a self-service. Augmented reality experience can help. We can go there and scan this QR code somewhere here, and immediately digital instructions will be superimposed, and he will be shown, okay, remove RBC aperture cover, and that will be shown digitally as an animated sequence. The next is brush the aperture, that is again shown as augmented reality experience, and then put it back together. So this instructions, when it is superimposed on the digital component, nobody can go wrong. You can do yourself, self-service. Then another example is, this is from a popular world famous pump company called Howden. He is putting HoloLens 2 here, and he is also getting a human machine interface in front of him, where a lot of details are being given. And once I run the video, you can appreciate the same. So he goes and puts his HoloLens, scans the the silhouette image is matched, and you get all the digital experience on top of that. All the different details and parameters of the engine is shown as head-up display, and he sees that there is some problem in the gear, a high temperature, so that gear has to be changed. So you can even integrate this with an order management system. You can order a new part. Once that new part is ordered, how do we disassemble that? He's seeing that in front of him, so that I can fix the gear which is in question. So that is one quick example using augmented reality through HoloLens. Then the same thing, same company, another experience with iPad. So this is again one of the pumps. Again, he matches the silhouette, and he gets the augmented experience through an iPad. He gets an alert that this gear, there is some problem, which is showing in red. Now, before changing that gear, there are a lot of other conditions and physical checks. A checklist has to be followed. So he has to inspect certain things he has to understand. The blower casing may become hot. It is shown as red color that this is the blower casing. Then there will be an internal and external rotating parts which may cause injury, so you have to take care of that. Ensure that the pneumatic pressure reads 2.0. So he sees the list and he also sees it as an augmented experience there. Then he's also shown a region where it can be causing bodily harm because this is a blower inlet. So once he takes care of all the health and safety checklist, then he gets the step-by-step animated instructions as to how you have to remove the components one by one, the disassembly procedure, so that you can reach out to that faulty gear and take it out, replace it with new. So that once you replace with new, it will show as green color, and then you fix it back in the same way you disassembled, the reverse procedure. So somebody who gets a augmented experience like this cannot go wrong. Right, so they have created it for gear, for bearing, for oil systems, for air systems. You can see the temperature, etc. being shown. That's thanks to the integration with the Internet of Things and augmented reality. This is a service procedure by Caterpillar. He scans a QR code. He understands the parameters of the fuel filter. There is an alert saying that check the fuel filter. He wears the HoloLens to understand how to change the fuel filter, and a digital experience in front of him is shown so that he understands how to disassemble that and then change it. Another good example is from BAE systems. So here this is an assembly
mixed reality solution. These allowed us to drag and drop.
Before I continue the video, let me explain this. Assembly operator is wearing a HoloLens 2. She is getting an augmented reality experience on the left hand side. She's also getting the step-by-step 2D instruction, which otherwise she would have to refer the manual just as a display in front of her, the different step description and other things. And with the first attempt itself, she is able to assemble this complex assembly in the BAE systems shop floor.
Our 3D models that we already have to create guided order constructions to deliver to our production floor in hours, and at a tenth of the cost.
We develop a step-by-step guide that lets the assembler completely assemble the battery.
You're not looking at this in 2 dimensions anymore on a screen that's far away from you. It's right in front of you.
The HoloLens has really become beneficial in allowing us to train new people on this product 30 to 40% more efficiently.
Using the HoloLens, I was able to cut my assembly time in half. We can understand and we can learn so much faster, efficiently, feel a part of this process.
Right. So that was for assembly instructions. Now this is again for a maintenance done by a defense vehicle. This was actually showcased in a big event which was run by PTC Live, which is called LiveWorks in Boston in 2019.
Augmented reality offers game-changing capabilities for maintenance execution and training. In this example, we'll look at how augmented reality can guide a maintainer through condition-based maintenance and service execution. First, let's look at how a maintainer might use a mobile device and an augmented reality IoT application to check the condition of their vehicle. First, the maintainer will use an IUID or barcode to identify the exact serial number of vehicle that the maintenance is to be performed on. The maintainer will automatically be alerted to any relevant warnings and cautions as they perform the routine inspection. In this example, the maintainer is being alerted to the fact that the tire pressure monitoring system has detected low pressure in the vehicle's tire. In order to rectify that problem, the maintainer will now be directed to the relevant maintenance procedure to replace the tire on this vehicle. On a special mission vehicle or a tactical vehicle, something as relatively simple as changing a tire can actually be quite a complex procedure that involves multiple pieces of support equipment and the lifting of heavy objects. So there is a safety element to doing this procedure correctly. In this example, The maintainer is directed how to use the winch, where to affix it to the tyre, and the correct way to attach and lift and remove the tyre from the vehicle. Also, the use of any additional tools such as wrenches or drills can be factored into the augmentation to ensure that the maintainer is using the correct tool for the job. This type of task-based augmentation can be used when needed as a job performance aid, or can be used as just-in-time training before a mechanic or operator attempts this procedure. This will ensure that the procedure is done correctly, expeditiously, and safely. If you'd like to know more about these game-changing capabilities, please contact your local PTC representative.
So in all these demonstrations, you are seeing various ways of launching the augmented reality experience. You saw model target where a silhouette is matched. You saw a QR code being scanned, right? Now this is another example on a Cirrus aircraft.
We're here at LiveWorks 2018, and I'm stood in front of the Cirrus SF50 Vision Jet. So what we're demonstrating here today are some owner-operator applications. This jet is designed to be flown as a personal jet, and the FAA mandates that before you fly this plane, you have to carry out certain safety checks. They're referred to as pre-flight checks. Now, ordinarily, this would be a fairly large document with many pages of paper that you would have to go through manually as you cycle through these checks. What we've done is we've taken all of that information and all of those steps, and we've created an interactive augmented reality experience for the owner. So now the owner can pick up a tablet or their phone, and they can be guided through these pre-flight checks using augmented reality. The advantage of this is that the augmented reality experience guides that owner to where they need to be at a particular location on the aircraft. Then it directs their attention to the part that they should be, checking or examining, and then tells them what the serviceable condition of that part should be. So once they complete these checks by following the experience, they will know that this aircraft is ready to fly. So the other thing that we've done, we've created interactive training for the operator. It used to be done on a web-based LMS system, so you would look at videos of the aircraft and an instructor would kind of explain the systems. Now, using augmented reality, you can take a tablet and you can hold it over the aircraft, and the experience will explain all the different systems that are in that particular part of the aircraft. So, for example, if you want to learn about the environmental control system and how that works, the AR experience will show you in 3D where those parts are located on the aircraft, and it will also include computer animations that show the cold air coming in and the warm air coming out of that system as it ventilates the aircraft. So the advantage of this is it's contextual. You can look at the aircraft and know where all these major components are located and also how they operate. What's made this possible is that the full digital definition of this aircraft is stored within Windchill. So we have the ability to create these highly interactive augmented reality experiences with very, very little effort, because we have such a good digital definition of the aircraft to begin with.
So that was another example of augmented reality experience to understand the aircraft. So here, unlike your silhouette image, which we call it as model target or thing mark, or scanning a QR code, nothing of that sort has been done. Directly you focus on the physical component, and then the respective augmented reality experience comes up. So that's object recognition technique, or it could be also called as spatial tracking. So what he says is that since the entire aircraft is already, the digital model is available, created in the 3D platform and managed in a PLM platform, it has become very easy for them to create all this animated experience and make it available in augmented reality. So that was on one set of solutions on the Vuforia platform called Vuforia Engine and Vuforia Studio, where either you leverage the 3D CAD data which is available and use and make it as an augmented reality experience in Vuforia Studio, or you take the help of other authoring tools like Unity or etc. and then make it into an augmented reality experience using Vuforia Engine. Now we have another solution. Augmented reality can be used for remote assistance and communication. So that's possible with this solution called Vuforia Chalk. So what it does is it's just like a video call with audio. Two people can communicate with each other through a mobile phone, which is compatible for this particular application. Compatibility means either it should be having AR kit or AR core as a technology, because then only the augmented reality will work. And once they see the once they communicate as a audio video call, whatever object is shown or whatever some help the other person requires can be seen through his camera of the mobile phone, and then the person who is giving him assistance can put chalk marks with his fingers and he can give him assistance rather than just giving oral communication. He can actually point to the correct way of doing something or helping him by putting chalk marks on his mobile, which will be reflected on the mobile of the other person's, and that chalk mark which he puts with his fingers sticks onto the object which he sees from the camera of the mobile phone. So that's the augmented reality piece in Vuforia Chalk. So in the subsequent slides, you can see certain demonstrations how this person is going to be guided by another remote expert in this shop floor with a lot of pipelines, etc. Please watch this video.
This is Vuforia Chalk. Easy to use, powerful remote assistance that allows your workforce to collaborate in real time from anywhere. The Vuforia Chalk app lets your employees share a live view of their workspace with an expert or coworker.
Then you want to open either one of these two motor meters here.
Both people can draw on the screen with their finger to provide instructions as if they're right there with one another. With Vuforia Augmented Reality, your annotations stick exactly where they're drawn, even when you move around. In fact, you can pause the live view to draw easy-to-follow, multi-step instructions.
Looks good from here. Hit me back if you have any other issues. I'll be here to help, okay?
Okay, definitely. Thanks so much.
And that's how you use Chalk. It's that easy. Vuforia Chalk. See it, solve it, together.
More examples of Vuforia Chalk. So you can see here when I run the video, there's certain applications where son is helping his mother on a remote, or a father is helping his daughter on a small projects which she is doing, or he getting himself help with certain equipments, or he's helping somebody else with certain coffee machine, etc. You can see those small snippets here. Let me run the video.
Hey, he's one of those tech savvy types. He gets it. Actually, whenever a friend's got a question, Gary gets the call.
I do what I can.
Problem is, helping people when you can't be there is frustrating.
Hey, Mom, what's up?
Gary, I can't get the sound to work on the TV again.
Hold on. Let me just show you.
That's why Gary uses Project Chalk. It allows you to guide others by drawing on the world as they see it.
Use this remote to change the input. It's this button right here. And then turn on the power here.
Ah, that's it. Thanks. Have a great day at work.
See? It's easy. And simple enough to use at any age.
Hey, honey.
Daddy, look at the castle I built. Do these things to be invited to the royal ball? Guess.
How about this guy? I like his outfit.
It's perfect.
It's perfect for all sorts of things. Like when vacation home guests have an issue.
Hey, Brent, how's everything going?
Hey, Gary. Everything's great. I just can't figure out your coffee machine.
Oh, well, actually, that's the espresso machine, but it's simple. Just pack your coffee grounds here, and then lift up and twist to lock it in, and then press this button to start.
Got it. Thanks, man.
Project Chalk works great for technical problems too. Even Gary needs assistance once in a while, like when one of his machines is acting up.
Hey, Gary. What's up?
Hey, Kay. My machine locked up. Can you remind me how to hard reset this model again?
You always forget. You just press here, here, and hold down here for 3 seconds.
Ah, that's right. Oh, you won, Kay.
No problem. Good luck.
Project Chalk will be in app stores this fall. Sign up on our website for the early access program or more information. Euphoria Project Chalk. Make helping others simple again.
Yeah, so it can be used for business to customer. It can be used for internal, or it could be used for business to business applications. Maybe a digital factory where a remote assistance can be given. There is one use case which happened in this COVID-19 period. Euphoria Chalk has been used to a great extent. Toyota experts used Euphoria Chalk to instruct their contract workers during weekends in their factory shop. Then it can be used for such applications like call center, helping a user when her car breaks down somewhere. It could be even used for a smart healthcare, two people trying to help somebody who have a health problem. It can be used for a construction problem somewhere down the line. And you saw these examples where business to customer directly. So it can be used as a simple video audio call where you put chalk marks and give a remote assistance. Now another tool which we call it as expert capture is again for assistance. It need not be remote assistance. It could be somebody's expertise can be captured as an augmented reality experience and can be shared with people who have to then use that experience, either through a eyewear or through a mobile device, etc. So otherwise, usually you will give such kind of instructions, which may be very difficult to understand also on a paper like this, right? So the better way is to give a experience like this, which is completely augmented in front of him like a head-up display, and that step-by-step instruction can be easily captured by a expert like this by wearing a HMT real wear or a HoloLens, etc. So what he does, he just keeps doing the steps and he keeps speaking what he does. He keeps taking snapshot of what he does, or he can take video of whatever he does. All that will be captured as an augmented reality experience. And then once he does that, then you have that content created and the knowledge transferred. So in between this, what happens, there will be an editor in between in which you can edit whatever you have captured, make it right, add some more artifacts, and then just publish it as an augmented reality experience. So this is how you do it. You capture the experience and then you enhance the experience with the editor, and then you can make it available to multiple people. So for that, the effortlessly the expert using this solution captures step-by-step instructions, and then it is fine-tuned in this editor and then published as an AR experience, and then it can be used by so many people with that dynamic content. So anytime the instructions have to be changed, the expert can just incrementally capture that and then republish it, and the latest information will be available to the users. So it can consist of the capture of the steps, can consist of videos and photos. It could be whatever you speak. It could be also like recorded as steps. You can also put bookmarks. You can also include locations. And these are the two devices which you can use for capturing that. It's called RealWear or HoloLens. And then you have this editor in which you edit, and then that can be made available for end user either through RealWear, HoloLens, mobile and tablet, desktop and laptop, or it could be made into a normal documentation as well. You will see one example here.
Industrial manufacturers are expected to face millions of unfilled jobs in the next decade. Their ability to leverage existing resources and improve productivity has never been more important. Now is the time to evolve how workers access and learn critical information, to reduce scrap, rework, and training cost, and save manufacturers tens of millions of dollars a year. That's why we've created Vuforia Expert Capture. It's the fastest, easiest way to create powerful step-by-step instructions that help frontline workers get their jobs done quickly and accurately. Knowledge is easily recorded without the need for existing assets or causing disruption to high-value workers, and used to create step-by-step instructions highlighting safety precautions and relevant locations. Content is easily fine-tuned, published, and managed through a secure SaaS-based environment and automatically optimized for viewing on Microsoft HoloLens, RealWear HMT1, and mobile devices. Augmented instructions are easily accessed by new or reassigned workers, increasing efficiency, accuracy, and safety. New skills are learned on the job, cutting training time and costs. Safety warnings are presented at the moment they're relevant, reducing the risk of injury. Workers follow location markers to successfully complete the required steps. Each step of the procedure can be documented and analyzed to improve efficiency and compliance. Vuforia Expert Capture from PTC, transforming the way manufacturers reduce waste and enable a safer, more productive workforce.
Right, so this really helps to capture the expertise, and which will be then published to the people who would like to use it. So it increases the workforce productivity and efficiency, and new workers can, get the learning faster. There'll be less downtime of the machines, lesser scrap and rework. The safety and compliance can be adhered to because the instructions are coming from expertise. You can also meet the service life cycle agreements, etc., and improve the customer satisfaction. And you can also cut the cost of repeated visits because the instructions are given very clearly, and then first time itself things can be fixed. Then we also have developed one more solution which is called as Spatial Toolbox. This is an open source. This is like having a lot of logical toolboxes which can be created on the fly and which can be made to interact with a physical machine. So it's like creating a logic using this toolbox and having that logic control certain functions. So you have a look at this is under development, of course. It is going to be an open source. You can see the example here.
The Vuforia Spatial Toolbox is an experimentation platform for spatial computing. By using the Spatial Toolbox, you can browse through a pocket of spatial tools. For example, you can take a slider and place it in the environment. You can also use a graph tool. By activating the spatial programming mode, nodes become visible and allow you to connect different tools. Once connected, the value of the slider can be visualized in the graph tool. You can tap on any tool and modify its position, rotation, and scale. You can also define the visibility distance for each tool by holding and moving further. In this case, the graph will be visible from a larger distance than the slider. Not only can you perform spatial programming with visual nodes, but these nodes can also modify the behavior of hardware systems via the Vuforia Spatial Edge server. By pointing the spatial toolbox at this demo machine, you can see how the machine is programmed. The two buttons are connected to a logic node that controls the conveyor belt, that at the same time drives the LEDs on the other end. This is how the machine works, but it is not only a visualization, it is the actual program itself. If you disconnect the buttons from the conveyor belt, the buttons stop working. Once you reconnect the buttons, the machine starts working again. If you want to invert the LED signal so that it turns green when the machine is running, you can use logic nodes for that. Tap on a logic node and the Spatial Toolbox presents an interface to program these logic nodes with all kinds of visual blocks. You can reprogram any behavior using these blocks. Now, you have reprogrammed the machine so that the buttons and LEDs match. This is a single demo machine with multiple nodes. However, the user can look at multiple systems as well and connect them together. This second demo machine is a scale that runs another program. A limiter tool shows the weight on the scale and a little button to activate it. By selecting the spatial programming mode, you can see the nodes and connect this scale system to the feeder machine. By doing so, the two separate systems can work as a unified system in the environment. The feeder will feed content to the bin on the scale until it reaches the set threshold. At any given moment, you can make adjustments in real time. The system is modular and flexible, and anyone can add new functionality using HTML and JavaScript. You can also use WebGL to generate 3D tools. This is a simple demo providing an overview of the Vuforia Spatial Toolbox capabilities. Check out our tutorials, documentation, and join our community to start your own Vuforia Spatial Toolbox project.
So that were a lot of use cases with different solutions that you saw. Now let's look at some of the customers who have applied that. Now this is a customer called Vimo. So they have used augmented reality for creating a product interface for head-up display and also a AR experience which accompanies the operator. So what it does is it does sheet metal production line. It is used there, and AR gesture commands can run several machines at once and also use it for switching between operations. Another example is from Lee Company. They have done, connected the centralized experts to the remote field technicians to deliver those work instructions and other job informations. And because of that, the remote assistance or the flawless work instructions created in a very understandable augmented reality way, and the field technicians are able to use it. They have got these kind of benefits. So they have got $20 of return of investment per $1 invested. They have saved $500 per technician per month, and they also have increased their sales by $2,500 per technician per month because of the customer experience and service they have given. Similarly, Watts Water, they have used augmented reality for facilitating the sales interactive experience of all their components with 3D experiences. So this is their catalog. As soon as you scan with a mobile device this particular thing mark, you get the entire thing coming up in augmented reality experience with all the details. So the sales catalog itself has been augmented with this. Similarly, you saw that BAE Systems example that was used for this hybrid drive propulsion system. In the assembly, you saw how the lady uses augmented reality for assembly instructions. That has helped them to improve their training by 30% and also improve their assembly time by 50%. And they could do all this. The development has become 1/10th overall. And they could create all these experiences in hours and all these animation sequences, etc. in less time, and they are dynamic. You have a change in the process, you create it, and then it will be automatically published to all the people who are using it. So they will always get the latest information. Similarly, Fujitsu, they are using both augmented reality platform and IoT platform. So what they have done is all their manual processes, which are slow and mistake prone, they have made it as automated, and all their time has reduced for doing all the testing, etc. So they have used all these things for better marketing and sales, product demonstration, and deliver interactive at scale augmented reality experiences to the customers. Bell Hovel is another case where they've used it for monitoring and tracking a smart connected product, and this particular thing is mainly used for both industrial as well as retail applications. So it was used mainly for the benefit of field service, field technicians, and remote service technicians, right? So they were some of the customer metrics. So if I rewind and bring up the use cases in general as this slide before we get into Q&A. So these are the various use cases for which AR will be used. You saw how it is being launched by different methodologies, maybe model target or thing mark or spatial target or object recognition. You saw how it is being used for all these different use cases, sales and marketing, manufacturing, service, training, operation, etc. You saw various devices being used, mobile devices, eyewears, and since technology around the devices are also increasing, you might find just like a normal spectacles which you wear, it could be even part of that, or even it could come as a contact lens which can be used for getting that head-up display in front of you. You saw that other B2C kind of applications for tourism, for gaming, for explaining a nice augmented illustration of something which you would otherwise might find difficult to understand from a printed book. So those different kinds of experiences and applications and use cases which you saw, and these are all done on the Vuforia platform, which is PTC's augmented reality platform. So that's all from my side for this session. I'm open to questions.
Participants can ask the question to Mr. Suresh.
I also missed out. Yeah, I missed out one more thing. Now this, the LiDAR technology has come in mobile devices like this iPhone 12, etc. has brought it. So you can actually scan a particular physical environment, and that can be then converted into a digital model, and which can also be used as an augmented reality experience, maybe like understanding or walking through a factory floor, etc. Those kind of applications can be used, which we call it as spatial recognition. You can also appreciate the spatial requirements of people moving around in a particular workplace. You can optimize that as well, or you can do some kind of a method study or transportation problem and all those things with these technologies. So that's something which I have not shown any demonstration, but however that is also now available with such devices which can capable of such capabilities like LiDAR. Okay, now you can ask questions. Is there anything on the question window?
No, sir. Unfortunately, the chat window is not enabled now. Actually, we have some technical problem. Afternoon, we will rectify it, sir. Actually, now the participant can unmute and ask directly.
Okay. Hope the entire session was without any much technology problem, audio, video.
Yes, sir. Actually, it was very good, sir. No issues.
Okay, thank you.
I request the participants to kindly ask their questions, and you can interact with the resource person.
I will encourage all of you to, when you go back after these sessions, you can download the app called Vuforia View in your phones. Look at the augmented reality experiences which are there in the library. You may require to print or keep that particular.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Oh, yes, ma'am. You're audible.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay, sir. Sir, actually, you are discussed about different Vuforia technologies. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Excuse me, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have you have discussed so many Vuforia technologies like smart terrain, chalk, expert, and so on. Out of that, only about the last spatial tool you have told us. What about the other softwares?
Yeah, they are not open source. You have to purchase them and then use them for your own use cases. We also have both commercial as well as academic version also. Academic version is highly discounted. You can use that in your institution for teaching as well as research. One advantage of these platforms is that coding is very minimal. But if you are used to some Java coding, you can do heavy customizations of the experiences. Otherwise, most of the things are drag and drop. Most of the library items are available, widgets and other artifacts are available to create experience. So these are all industry ready platforms, and also we give the academic version at a highly discounted price so that it can be taught to the faculty as well as to students, and then they can use it for creating industry level experiences as a project, and which will then help them to have better prospects to be absorbed in industries because they possess the skill which is required to be applied in the industry for their use cases. Vuforia engine is also available for developers. When you are developing an experience, it is available free of cost, the Vuforia engine platform. Developers can use that platform without paying anything. They can develop a lot of experiences, but as soon as they try to publish that for actual production use or for commercial use, then they have to purchase the license. But otherwise, as long as they are developing it, it is free of cost.
Okay, sir. On research aspects, can you suggest something? Because all these things are for easy understanding and for easy of use. What about on the research side?
Yeah, research side, what would you like to do?
Now, so many people are pursuing the PhD. So, on this, what kind of work they can take up, like that way I'm asking.
Yeah, so they can, we have different ways of, I can give you some ideas. So they have different ways of launching the experience. So computer vision is one technology which they can do research on, how that can be used for, using as to launch the augmented reality experience. They can come out with various different other ways of having this experience launched. Like I have shown few. So or they can say, work with some industry which are making wearables or hardwares in which these can be launched. Like AR kit and AR core has to be part of the mobile device. So like that, some technology or some device, new device, which is more comfortable to be used than a HoloLens, or which is less costlier than a HoloLens, something like that they can form as part of their research. Means the devices with which this augmented reality experience can be used. So those could be some of the fields where they can have their research done on top of all these what is existing.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
This toolbox also is something which they can use for the research. They can have multiple applications. In the research, they can make a project as to how to help a certain particular use case which has not been existing using such augmented reality. They can work on that and create a thesis and submit a report, which can then be absorbed by the industry as a new use case to be used for certain things. In medical field, a lot of ways and means by which, say, for example, augmented reality, virtual reality was being used by medical industry. They, with the help of haptic devices. Now with augmented reality coming, there have been cases where surgeries have been done very effectively by combining an augmented reality experience with a haptic device. So an experienced doctor helping somebody at some other end, to do a detailed surgery. So like that, various things can be thought of, So idea is, if you think that how can I make the life of human beings better and simpler, and how can I make the environment, a safer environment. How can I use this for all the ecosystem which is existing? So then you will come out with a lot of topics for your research and development.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, ultimately, even in industry applications, we don't go and say that, use this technology because this is a wow factor. We don't say that. We talk about these. We say it will help you for a collaborative design review. It will help you for a, optimizing your retail space, or it will help you for self-service. So what are the challenges which industry faces? How do I help them to come out of those challenges, do something better, is what we first talk about. And then that's how, these technologies are, coming up. In fact, I would advise you to, you can search on the internet. There are 3 articles which have been published from Harvard University. It's called the Harvard Business Review article, HBR. 3 of them. You can search and you can download the PDF copy. You will get a lot of understanding as how augmented reality can be, used, or how it will help industry as well as the society as a whole, and how it will even make the business model change in this present scenario. How it has, even because of this technology existing, it has really helped early adopter industries to continue their business. It has helped the medical field. Vuforia expert capture was used by United Kingdom government for ventilator challenge. There was a lot of requirement for ventilators to be produced, but there were only 2 companies which were producing the ventilators, whereas the rest of the companies which were either in automotive or aerospace or other domains, they were their production was half. So what they did is their remaining 50% of their production capability, they converted into an assembly facility where they could assemble the ventilators produced by these 2 companies. Now, to make people who are making automotive to work on a medical device, there was some remote expertise to be captured, instructions to be given in an easy to understand way. So they created that in Vuforia expert capture, and using that experience from the ventilator company, the automotive and other company people, they could assemble those ventilators, test them, and and give it to the market as many as required. So that was a very good help in this COVID-19 period. As I mentioned, another example was remote assistance by Toyota, where in this COVID-19 period, the experts could not travel to the factory floor during weekends where contract workers were working. So they used this technology. So it's really whatever I have, whatever documentation is done that this can be used for this. This is not very comprehensive. There can be so many things which can come. So a research could be as to what are the various ways in which we used for the benefit of industry as a, or as a society as a whole, could be a research topic. Any more questions?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, when we are going with the usage of the various softwares you mentioned, which one will be feasible to use? And because we are framing our autonomous syllabus with the virtual reality and augmented reality, sir. For that, we need to establish the lab also. So, which will be the suitable development platform for students in students' perspective, sir?
See, except Vuforia Chalk, all the 3 we give as academic packages. So Vuforia Studio can be used where you can leverage, do you have a CAD, CAM, CAE lab?
Yes, sir.
So where, mechanical engineering or electrical engineering or civil engineering must be creating a lot of their designs or things in CAD. You can leverage that in Vuforia Studio and create augmented reality experience back, which can help them back. Then if you are trying to develop gaming or some sales and marketing experience one-off, Then you can use Vuforia engine platform where the authoring can be done with Unity 3D and such applications which are available in the market. And third one is, if you want to have this remote expertise capture and those kind of things, then Vuforia expert capture will come. So all the three different solutions, we have our academic packages. You can look at all the three, or maybe start with Vuforia Studio and Engine, and then later you can go for expert capture to be part of your lab as part of your academic curriculum. So that you can contact us. Which institution is this? Is it from MCET or?
I'm from Kamaraj College of Engineering and Technology, Tamil Nadu.
Okay, so my
Down
email
south,
ID
near
is.
Madurai.
Okay, got it.
Share it, sir.
Yeah, my email ID is there with Mr. Hari. He can share it, and then you can communicate one-to-one. We can help you with that.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. And about platform, sir, OS platform, which will be convenient.
Windows platform is good enough. It is also supported in Linux platform also.
Related to iOS?
iOS, yes, iOS and Android and Microsoft.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So HoloLens is on Microsoft platform. Mobile phones will be either on iOS or Microsoft or Android platform. So the app supports all these different platforms, and we have a documentation as to which are the compatible devices and hardwares and operating systems, etc.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can work out all that, once based on your requirement.
Sure, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, then, Mr. Hari, I think it's top of the hour. We can close the
yes,
session.
sir. Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, thank you for your wonderful session, sir. It was really informative, and you have shared a lot of real-time examples. That benefits us a lot. Okay, sir. So once again, thank you, sir. We'll join at 2:30 p.m. So actually.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Okay, sir. So, dear participants, there is an announcement for afternoon session. Okay, so another link will be shared through our WhatsApp group. Participants are requested to join using the new link. The chat option will be enabled in new joining link, so you can interact with Mr. Suresh through chat box. Participants are requested to join exactly 2:30 p.m. The attendance form for our phone session is posted in our WhatsApp group, and make use of it. So thank you all. We'll join at 2:30 p.m. Thank you.